This meeting will be video recorded and broadcast over local access channel 8 and through the town website at www.eastham-ma.gov.
Think we bring this meeting in order?
I think so. I just needed approval of the August minutes.
Second.
Okay.
All right.
I think we're approved.
August or September.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, September. I did a typo in here. I did say August.
September minutes approved.
Correct. Okay, so I'll do a little quick. I went to the Climate Action Committee last night. I wasn't able to stay the entire time, but they were talking about once again talking about their climate action plan. And I'm trying to now meet with, they have a subcommittee that specifically discuss it, and I'm now set up to meet with them about objective 4, which pertains to erosion, which is where I'm going to try to tie us into, because I got some exciting information. I know how much sand the Eastham uses every year, which is extremely good because it is a lot. It is 9,000 cubic yards, which back of the envelope, $20 a yard. That's a very conservative estimate because sand is actually in a shortage right now, I believe.
Now, is that all beach quality sand
that they're buying? Yeah. I don't know enough about that yet. I'm trying to find out where they're buying the sand from, et cetera, and so forth, so I can get a more accurate. Just back of the envelope math, though, that's $200,000 of expenditure if you're buying the sand. If they're not buying the sand, it's cheap, probably free, just transportation to replenish our beaches.
Does anyone know if our former member?
Oh, Frederick?
No.
Oh, Gary?
No. Gretchen? No.
Molly?
No, Mayo. Who was our
Rick?
Frederick.
Frederick?
Frederick Leary, that's his full name.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
If Rick's house is okay?
I have no idea.
I didn't hear anything about it.
He's down to 10. Counted 10 feet.
I think he's very zen about that. I think I've actually heard him discuss that, that when the house is gone.
No, one of his houses just sold too, like, and they know it's gonna fall off the cliff, and they're basically, the guy that bought it's like, it's temporary.
Life is sweet.
That's the way it is. You
And
know, that's just how he took, and he bought it for like a lot of money. So like he must know he's just throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Anyway, they're
Frederick.
buying.
I didn't know it was Frederick.
If they're buying that much sand, I mean that's $200,000 again, back of envelope math.
Yeah.
If they're getting the sand relatively cheaply by the yard. Again, sand has fluctuating prices, and I understand it's in shortage in some areas, like glass quality sand and stuff like that.
Right.
But like doing some research, I mean that could be an easy way to argue getting a glass breaker, because the amount of yardage we're getting rid of in sand won't even fill that. But it then means we have an opportunity to take on other sand, and all we would need to buy is a couple pieces of equipment. I'm still working on like what all we may need depending on how they set it up. You need to get like a crusher. Usually there's a couple different types. There's just kind of like has a hammer and just crushes it. There's kinds that have hammers that swing. There's kinds that have hammers that roll, and they all crush as small as they can. And then you run it through a machine called a sizer, and then that basically turns it round. I found sizers that are very small from Japan that can do multiple things, like size and make the glass smaller. So in theory, we could operate it at a relatively small area even. Again, it just depends on what we're trying to accomplish with that.
And we also need personnel to run additional machinery.
Again, if I can eliminate the amount of steps, though, that eliminates the amount of personnel, which is really what I'm focused on. Because if I say, look, this creates 2 jobs versus if I say we need a 10-person team to run it. He just terminated his control. The meeting's still going.
Okay, very good.
He's just blocking our field this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But what was I saying?
You were talking about making our own sand.
Oh yeah, right. So like, yeah, if we can get it down to like just 2 machines that might be 2 jobs or 1 job, then it's a lot of an easier ask as an ongoing cost. However, then they also have the offset cost of like, if we free up that money that we're buying sand with and save the carbon emissions and all these stacking little tiny costs, it could be easily like, hey, we're paying 3 people to run that, and it's still positive net.
Right.
Because we're not buying sand, also then we're not, all these things. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out just even what kind of proposal might look like, what a grant might look like.
Do we, along the same token, do we know, any other transfer station that's, got a serious size composter? For
I think, I wanna
points
say,
of comparison?
I thought we were thinking a Yarmouth did.
I didn't make that road trip, so.
I didn't
check
either.
back
I
through
do. I
notes.
have it somewhere in my notes that we do know of one, and I was like gonna try to plan a trip to it. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of having access to a car at that time, or you and me go
Hey,
coordinating
absolutely.
and going.
Yeah.
Or a whole of us coordinating and going, whatever.
Not much, we just approved the.
Yeah, and then I don't have any information on the compost regarding erosion. I just was mentioning this yesterday at the Climate Action Committee, and they said, hey, we know how much sand, and it's
Oh,
9,000
turn
cubic
over.
feet. So I took that and went with it a little bit just to see like what else I could figure out with that number. The more numbers and things I get, the more we'll be able to lock this down and like what it might look like. But
yeah,
that's-
the quality of the sand has to be.
Correct. Again, that's where the sizer comes into play. Like a sizer is a machine that,
Make sure it's all uniform. and
yeah, it brings
Yeah.
technically
Worry
what.
about whatever the state regulations might be to make sure.
We'd have to comply.
Yeah, I actually am working, I'm gonna contact sorry, hold on one sec.
Someone.
Yeah, someone, let's say the National Seashore or something like that, National. Shoot, I lost it. Basically, it's the
You're just
coastal
gonna-
management, part of their coastal management plan they came up with. I'm gonna talk to them to make sure that the sand we're creating isn't the kind of sand that would be environmentally different, because it technically, from a chemistry perspective, it is different. A lot of our sand is made from shells, but if we're buying sand and bringing it in as well, it's likely that that sand is also of a varied quality, and therefore probably as long as it's clean, and they have machines that clean sand as well, that's something that we can manage. Again, this is an early, just sort of high concept stages. It could be something that it doesn't end up working out at all, but it's just kind of where I'm working with them, because if we have 2 committees sort of approaching it as a pronged, I figured it kind of makes a good argument. And I think it might be an easier argument than the digester in the first stages. And I like to do one little successful thing so that then we have an opportunity to get a little runway for a bigger ask in the future. Again, that's just kind of where my mind is on it. Any updates to the swap shop? I don't have any additional right now.
Excuse me, you're not talking recycling, then you're talking climate action.
Climate action, that's the stuff I was doing. I'm trying to meet with them. I'm just trying to tell you what I'm trying to do with them, because I'm the only one that was there other than Gary, but he's not here. I don't want to bug him just for our meetings as well. Since he's at those meetings. Yeah, I have no real updates on the swap shop other than I have a list of things that people kind of want. And we now know what Chief Bohannon wants to adapt. So he wants to put concrete barriers blocking so that.
Well,
people
that's
can't
his
pull up.
short-term solution. His
That's the
concern
short-term
is that
solution.
when
Right now,
traffic-
that's all we have. Yeah. it's
When
a
traffic
short-term
comes into the
solution.
transfer station, that they're aimed directly at all the
Yeah.
people shopping. So his future ask is that the commerce would be this way and the traffic would be parallel. So, yeah, putting up the barriers is a short-term solution.
Yeah, it might also control parking a little bit, so we're kind of on the. I think it gives us a chance to put signs there.
Yeah.
Because the signs that we have are very minimal and they're way in the back and nobody really notices them. But I think if we put some bigger signs in front, since we'll have concrete barriers, it might be a way to kind of let people know like how we operate. And I think also maybe help keep the flow of traffic going. Like, don't park here, keep moving, parking 30 minutes, that kind of stuff. I mean, we're good at enforcing it, but having signage to kind of help, I think we'll do that as well. Then we can also cordon off a better volunteer sort area. I think that'll at least let us play with that concept a bit.
Well, and we have to get a meeting with John Ruffley and
Yeah.
find out if any of the ideas we have about moving within the transfer station are at all possible.
Yeah,
Because
And where-
everything else follows that. I realize.
exactly. And where is going to be very indicative of like what we can even ask for. Like, I mean, the ladies, I asked them to make a list of what they wanted and awning in the front. I don't think that's a huge ask. I feel like that's doable. But they also wanted a bathroom. I think it's a much, much bigger ask.
Mhm.
We may be able to compromise with like a porta potty. I'm not really sure yet. I would like to get running water just for mild cleaning, like just to wipe things down with a wet rag occasionally. But not for like any kind of heavy use. So it would be a very small water. That could even be something we do with like a rain barrel pump situation
Good.
to do like a little bit of a green, hey, look, check out how we're doing our water. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of all I have in the swap shop at the moment. And additional to what we already have. You know, other than what's in this also flyer, which we can talk about. It's on the agenda. And then I forgot to take Windmill Weekend off, so let's just go back to the other stuff. Here it is. Hi, James. Welcome.
Hi, nice to talk to you all.
Thanks.
I'm handing out some pamphlets since we're talking about committee branding now at the top of the items.
Yeah.
And so you may have one in the packet. Oh, sorry. That I sent out as well. It looks like this.
James?
Yeah, I think he's looking through his files.
Oh, whoa, sorry.
So yeah, this is the thing I got. This is just a preliminary design. I'm more concerned with how it's laid out. What does everyone think? I sent it out for people to send me any kind of changes. No one really had anything to make any big changes. So it's really just about are we happy with it? Do we want to make it a little more in terms of there's some items there that may not be on the not combustible or compostable? Combustible, sorry. Say going to my safety.
Plastic is.
I do want to see if we can drill down on that, but we have to sort of work with the transit station because I don't want to give information that's counter to what they're posting, despite the fact I disagree with its accuracy. So I think for now I'm gonna leave that, and maybe we can say, hey, is there a way we can narrow that plastic down to 1s, 2s, and 3s so we have a higher percentage of recycled? It may have to do with the contract that we were locked into, and I won't get into the contract situation, but that we're locked in with the waste transport companies. But I hear you 100%. I hear you.
Yeah, you also sent us something for the swap shop, like what you could do for the swap shop, brain.
Oh yeah, like a list of things, just generally like, yeah, like where it's to brainstorm really new to some starting concept of how do we document what we're taking.
But could we add that to this? Like,
yeah, I'm
like
not opposed to it.
Compostable and not compostable in one section, and then the swap shop, and then the information I thought was really good that you had about the swap shop. Like,
Yeah, I was actually thinking though that since this is technically for the transit station, maybe we could separate one for the swap shop in its own. That way the people that are more interested can drill down on that information, and then we can definitely be as robust as we want. Because I'd like to do is eventually the swap shop would be like more of like just a stopping point for some of these items that'll almost immediately go off to charities and things, and that would even be included in the pamphlet who we're working with. Again, in a later stage, the early stage, I'm making one that just informs people of how it operates. In fact, one of the items I have on here, oops, computers keep sleeping.
I keep looking up there like he's gonna show.
Is I know I did that last time because I had so many things in the packet, but this time I don't have much. Oh, you know what? I actually have the wrong agenda open on my thing. No wonder I'm not going by these items. Okay, let me open up the right one. That'll really help.
So on here, I would add,
Oh, excellent. Yes.
returnables. The deposit stuff.
Under the subcategory of metal or
Well,
standout,
no, because it's glass, metal, and plastic, right?
right?
But you don't do like any kind of redeeming program at the transit station? If you do any returnable.
No, those were taken, well, in the past, they were taken like by the Boy Scouts
It's
and.
the Eastham Elementary.
Yeah, I was gonna say the school now. I was gonna say I don't mind putting that in there to be clear that it goes to the school. I just don't want to make people think they can come in and get money either.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, I mean, I think,
No, I hear you. I'm putting it down as a thing to we'll massage some kind of language.
paper bags, I would switch to mixed paper.
That is the category that you actually recycle. That if you want to match them, that's one of the dumpsters as a.
I mean, I don't recycle my paper bags, I reuse and reuse and reuse them, but I.
Right, but if you do, it's newspaper, mixed paper, and cardboard, I
Yeah,
believe.
exactly.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Mixed
Yeah.
paper is separate than newspaper.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Right, so you have all the categories, you just, one is missing.
Switch paper bags to mixed paper. And jugs.
Should I have paper bags as a subcategory of mixed
No.
paper?
No, mixed paper
I think
fills in
that's
all,
part of mixed paper.
if you don't know that, then.
And jugs and, say, screen plastic. I might put that under plastic. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Actually, we've already revised it. Like that, so I see what you're saying, but I've already actually fixed that because I also felt the way that jugs and tubs. Who's jugs and tubs?
And under metal, there's aluminum, like if you, so it's not just food and beverage, it's not just cans.
We take all kinds of. No, actually, I just.
No, I don't mean in the scrap metal place, I mean in the.
You mean the categories up top of the, the
Yeah.
thing?
You can do
Oh, aluminum,
aluminum.
aluminum, plastic.
It's not just your,
Glass,
it's not just
newspaper.
your beans cans, it's also aluminum.
Gotcha.
Yeah, any kind of, as long as it's aluminum.
But, so under metal, I would say something.
Oh, yeah, add aluminum.
Yeah, actually, I do have it on there. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
That's why I was getting. I'm looking at the one that I just updated. So I just did. All I did is really just made it a little easier to read so that we can make the font a bit. I didn't want to make the font too small because it's again we're aiming at a demographic.
Mhm.
But yeah, I tried to make it a little more compact. So that's why I have that on there now. So. And then I have compostable. I just reordered it: fruits, veggies, bread, cereal, filters, tea bags, eggshells, meat, fish. Again, this is for the composting that we send out to Black Earth. The paper napkins and paper towels. I thought about putting under compostable, maybe that it's industrially composted, so that people, because they always ask, like, oh, you can compost that stuff, and it's like at the transit station, yes, you can. And that will bring me to my next point of I think we should maybe do a separate trifold for composting separately, because it is one of the programs we endorse that we did. I think is a successful one, but I think separating the items to being this is composting from the recycling committee and this is the town's transit station thing would be helpful. So maybe we add that. Should I add that? Industrially compost? I don't know how to do it with it's not confusing people.
No, you're just telling them what the process is so that they don't worry about this. So we could just say that heat processed industrial
Yeah,
compost.
that's
Just address the whole category.
okay.
You don't need another header.
Right, you need to put on there the Black Earth, takes our.
Yeah, maybe I'll put it at the bottom of the thing like a note, a footnote instead.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just add it as a thing here and I'll make it I'll figure out how to do footnotes.
It's household compost, not yard compost.
Are you talking about the transit station?
Yeah, well, I mean, the compost area.
Yeah, the Black Earth, they take all of these things.
Understand. But do we need to make that clear on? here?
No,
That's what
because it's not in our category yet, and there is still a separate area that we would probably like to combine, but that's a future thing.
Right, I understand,
You're talking-
but do people understand that?
That's why I was thinking we do a separate composting at home.
No, I think she means a category here saying not yard waste. Not lawn.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
absolutely. For not compostable, we'll just add yard waste to not compostable at the transit station. Because there's a whole, I have
No, but it isn't the separate thing.
You're
That
right.
whole back area, so
I don't wanna say
compostable,
not.
simply say not
Households.
yard waste or,
Yeah, how do we reference those areas? I guess is a good question.
well, that would have to be added into this if you're
Yeah,
doing the categories, so. And where we would like to move the swap shop to impacts part of this geography, so it should be in the pamphlet, but its utility may change, but
that's okay. We can just get a new, this is like whenever we do an event, so I don't have to get them printed right away. So if we
Right.
need to change it on the fly, we can change it on the fly. Sorry, I understand now.
Are you saying?
Could we identify the compostable issue as household compostable?
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what she said. Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do a little separate because I noticed the little half sheet. People were confused as to whether that was for composting at home or composting at the transit station. So I thought, well, why don't we just make a separate one for the transit station where we put the town seal on it so people know it's for the town. And then when we do one for composting, we'll just have our logo or whatever we decide to put on the front and give us a little bit of a, like a, oh, okay, that's for that and that's for this. I see. Okay, I'll do household compostable and then we'll do industrially compostable. And then, yeah, we can just reference like their other. Can I put it under other services? Would that be a good way to describe it?
Oh, for these big categories?
Yeah, I mean,
Um, no, you should simply say that yard waste and lawn trimmings go, in a completely separate area. That's all.
Right.
yeah, but then
larger
I could also add the e-waste and all the stuff they take, like our air conditioners and those
Sure.
things like that.
Sure.
If we have other services, and that
Right.
would include that.
Right.
I can put it under. That's what I'm starting to feel like it's almost getting to be. That's.
For the
Well, are
furniture.
we advertising new services or are we reinforcing all the ones we have?
I was really more focused on the recycling aspects of what we're doing. And-
Then we don't,
Don't just let that stuff.
Yeah,
Just let it
yeah.
lie. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine with me.
less is more.
And we'll just keep the compostable focused on the industrial compostable that goes to Black Earth for the time being. When we do a larger program, we can then maybe integrate all the other composting that we'll be doing
Yes,
together.
yeah, but
I like
while
that
it's
better.
separate, it's still
Okay,
separate.
I was getting a little like, oh man, this is gonna be way huge.
Yeah.
No,
it's too
you're
much.
thinking too big.
Yeah,
too early.
no, I was getting a little in my head about it. And then I think the design change on the back, I'm gonna just make this all one color. Because what the folds, as you can see, have to be perfectly precise and the print has to be perfectly aligned. And even my
What a
advanced
great
origami,
idea.
even my advanced origami skills were not able to line that
No,
up.
what a great
So,
idea.
Yeah, that was just the first thing I did. I was like, oh, it's a nice sunset, but I don't know if I want to line that up every time.
Fine if it's
no, you
perfect
don't.
in eyes.
Yeah.
I know, but I feel like it'll just look a little more well put together. And then we'll do something a little fancier on the inside, maybe.
Or maybe
Yeah, it doesn't have to be too crazy. It's again, this is just a first pass. And then let me go to the next item since we're on these. Oh, yeah, a separate composting trifold. What might that look like? Is that something we want to entertain to kind of again keep the consistent branding? So that's something.
Composting one, that the transfer station sells the compost bins.
They do?
Yeah, the little black, yeah,
Okay,
not terribly well publicized, but yes.
okay, okay, I did not know that because people literally came to me and were like, "I heard you guys are selling these on the low," and I was like, "I have no idea what you're
No,
talking about."
there's not, I'm not sure the last one they sold, but that's been the case for a while.
Okay,
There may be a little sign in front of the
okay.
entrance station.
I think, yeah, that's they brought it up during that Saturday
Yeah.
discussion, but
Yeah.
other than that, I think it just died.
There's probably a pallet of them sitting somewhere at the transfer station.
Okay, I can come up with a skeleton for next meeting for the trifold, and then if anyone has anything they think should go in it, send it to me.
Mhm.
And again, we'll get all this stuff printed for Windmill Weekend 2025 for the next year. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's like, let's just start concepting things and we can just evolve these as they evolve, but at least we'll have stuff to show off to like people, because also we have like, if we build a little bit of a idea of what we're costs, if we go to this meeting, if we go to this print stuff, we could say, hey, we spend this a year, let's get a budget like the Climate Action Committee and, start rolling the ball. And then I had some ideas for the new items for Swap Shop, the plants and the garden goods. Actually, I got a little movement on the plants. The postmaster at the North Eastham post office came in looking for a bunch of pots. She said people were bringing cuttings. And I said, oh, okay. She's like, they're just bringing them in because we just redid the building and stuff. But I was like, okay, great. Would that be something that, be interesting as an offer? If we had plants and people could bring in cuttings. She's like, yeah, it'd be awesome because people were just bringing them to her right now, and she doesn't really have anything to do with all of them because, it's like if you go like, I lost a turtle. Like when I was a kid, I lost a turtle. When I was a kid, I had a turtle, and I got 7 turtles because everybody found any turtle was my turtle. That's what happens when she's like, can I have any plant cuttings? I need a couple plants. Everybody brings plants from their house because everybody has tons of plants. That's basically what happened. And then I thought of a little separate area we could do for garden goods. Again, this is like Swap Shop 2.0 stuff that we may be able to do. I don't know if we can integrate it in the current Swap Shop. It would
No,
really
let's push this to phase 2. We're pretty phased.
Put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really just be tables specifically for that stuff.
Right, but we have no storage as it is, so you're pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
The tables out there are stuff people are bringing.
Yeah.
And we are doing these things just very unofficially at the moment, so it's like not a problem. But yeah, I don't want to start advertising thing. I look, when I'm proposing these things, I want you to poke holes in it. There's a reason we couldn't do plants, there's a reason we couldn't do
No.
fruit.
No,
You know,
it
just to
already
make these-
happens, but it's just not organized.
Yeah, so,
Like
okay,
everything else at the swap shop.
This happens.
and then, we just updated the transit station trifold, and then, Gwen, you had, some communication ideas. You got any?
No, it was just to bring back the newsletter.
Okay, so you wanna do the
was
newsletter?
Really good. And I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel, I mean.
Oh, no, there's a back catalog of them. You can just recycle.
Exactly.
I don't know where they're kept. Do we have
They're
it?
in my drawer.
She has she has copies, I believe, of them.
Okay.
I did the newsletter, so. That was a project.
Yeah, I mean, it was
I
great.
think we're supposed to get a cloud drive so we can actually.
So, wait,
all that work.
I don't know how big our mailing list is. I actually do know we have a mailing list. I believe I have I have a spreadsheet with all the emails on it already. I just got control of the email. I know it was bouncing back the emails because I was having trouble logging in, and now that it's been logged in, it shouldn't bounce back. So I can actually we can figure out a way to send them out from there. Is basically
But
what
is this a list of people that have communicated with us? Or
yeah, they
but-
signed up for our emailing list when we did the microplastics thing.
Okay.
So I figured at least it's a group of people to start, and then obviously they can we'll have to set it up so some way they can unsubscribe.
Opt out. So-
Yeah, probably use a MailChimp or something like that. That way it's automated and we don't have to make sure that they said they want off, so we'll take them off.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, I mean, maybe piggyback on whatever the town already.
Yeah, actually, you know what I'll do is I'll find out what the recycling, the Climate Action Committee is doing. I know they sent a newsletter out, I think, or James, your wife was at the meeting. I know you guys sent a newsletter out. Do you do that manually or do you use a service?
We're doing it on, by electronically now.
Yeah, but are you sending it through like a service to everybody, or are you using it so that they can unsubscribe?
No, it goes to everybody.
Okay, so they're just sending it raw.
Right, so you have no mechanism for somebody to unsubscribe rather than responding to you?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure it's there, but I'm not all that familiar with the mechanics.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we'll figure out what Climate Action is using then, and we'll just see what that is. And if maybe they're just sending it out to everybody. If they want to unsubscribe, it's like, please stop sending this to me. Is that mechanism? It can, then, which is work. It's fine. That's usable. But yeah, it's just sometimes it's a little, you forget to take them off and then they get pretty annoying. But yeah. I'm down to open that up again. I mean, maybe since you have them already, the newsletters?
I know she has all of
But
them.
I thought, didn't you send them to her already, or did you not?
Sent it to her.
Oh, okay.
Which comes back to a cloud drive so that she's not stuck.
Correct. Yeah, so
as the
maybe
librarian.
let me mull
I
on
have
that.
them.
Yeah, let me mull on where we would store. I do want to get a cloud drive to kind of put all of these like documents into so that there's like a repository in case like I step into traffic or something, or someone does that has access to them. And then it's not just like one pivotal person.
Right.
So let me think about that, because I don't really like to introduce third-party stuff that may change hands, like a company like Box or OneDrive or whatever. Then it gets bought, and then it's like now it's part of a different machine. The city may even have like a OneDrive, like an
I
account.
would think that the town has.
If they do, then I'll just get like a small subset
Yeah.
set aside and see what we can do for like storage of like some master documents that is
Yeah,
controlled
exactly.
through logging in the email, probably.
Right.
Because that's through Microsoft as well. So I'll probably see what they can do there.
Yeah.
And then I'll just give you access to that for sending those out if that's how we want to manage it. Or if you want to send them to me to send out, that's fine too. I kind of had an idea for like a community bulletin board electronically, but I don't know how much momentum we'll get on that.
With Recycle and Craigslist, aren't you just sort of almost in competition with some of your targets?
Next door.
Well, that's the
Oh,
problem,
and
is
next door,
everybody
yeah,
uses
that's
different services, so I thought of a place where we can make like right now the town has like a little one-line thing that goes like, this is some information. But like if you're on a committee, I was thinking of like a faux Twitter, like where you just like, it's like at recycling committee, hey, check out our meeting today, at climate action, at every committee would have its own little like thing where it could blast its monthly things that just rotate on a schedule of like when their events are happening, when their meetings are happening. They have the calendar, but that's more of like a dig to find where you're looking for. Well, this would be more of like what's going on in the town. Windmill Weekend has its own account. Every one of the things.
They used to have a feed, like before they got their new website. They
Right.
used to have a feed running of what was happening during the day, almost like a breaking news.
Was it ticker?
Yeah, exactly. That's a ticker. Yeah, exactly.
But-
That's what I'm thinking, or a Chiron, however you want to call
But
it.
then we got a new website, so. I don't
And the
know what
one line is
means.
okay, but there, it's first of all, it's obfuscated. Nobody knows where it's coming from or who controls it. It's not known what the announcement is. You have to engage with it to really get more information. It really, I'm talking, this is 140 characters. I don't want to draw too many parallels with Twitter because it's terrible now, but like something like that to replace what once was, I think it's probably why it's not there. It probably, oh, everybody uses Facebook, everybody uses Twitter, everybody uses.
Well, I get a notification from the town because I signed up for notifications for recycle committee, for climate action committee, for the school board, like, it sends me an email notification with the agenda or the notes or whatever, but it's an opt-in. You have to opt in.
I mean, I like opt-in.
Each one individually, I see, yes.
Yeah, I like opt-in. I mean, I just thought this would be like a way to like kind of see it all at one spot. Because sometimes I like when I just like to see what's going on, and I go to the town website, but then I'm like, what? Oh, I don't care that much. You know what I mean? But like, it'd be nice if it was all there, or like, it was I forget, was it Oyster Fest this weekend?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't even know it was Oyster Fest. Like that would have been a thing that could have been on there that just said Oyster Fest. Oh, I see. That would have been not on the town website. Then
Yeah.
fair enough. I wonder why everyone asks me. I'm like, I have no idea what
Read
this
the
is.
Provincetown Independent?
Very good.
You should.
I mean, I just don't have a subscription.
I'll give you my back issues. It's fabulous.
It is so.
Yeah,
But,
it's
yeah,
it's the only news representation we have at this part of the Cape.
Lower.
Okay.
I'll lower Cape Cod.
Yep.
Fine.
Yeah, I have read it before. I just don't get a
No,
regular
it's,
subscription to it.
that's how we know.
Gotcha. Well, I'll have to.
Trying to get to my job in Wellfleet on Saturday.
I'll have to get more tuned into that as well. But yeah, that was something I thought that might be neat. But like, it would be more of like a all the town thing versus just us. I like the newsletters if we want to do newsletters and figure out how like maybe we do. Is there like a theme, like
There
a
was a theme every month.
yeah, like a theme every month? Perfect. That sounds good. I mean, anyone that wants to coordinate.
Yeah, it was one page.
Did you
Oh, I
take a
see what you're
look at
saying.
that new- the new bulletin board? At the dump?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, been there.
Yeah, it's a bit exposed to the elements compared to the old one, which had like a, even though it was like old, it had like a bit of a seal. This one has a gap between the
It's been
windows.
for the last 3 years.
Yeah, but I still feel like it's a little more, it's genuinely open. So we have to make sure whatever we're putting in there, maybe we laminate it. Just so it survives more than a couple days. I feel like a good dewy day and that paper's gonna wrinkle and that'll be the end of it. Just because, you know, the swap shop, we come in the mornings, it's dewy, so.
Well, and we can put our, the newsletters can go up on we have a website, like, right? Like on the transfer station website, it says recycle committee, click, so you could email recycle committee. I'm sure the town will put it up. They used to blast it out. The library used to put it on Facebook,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I mean,
Information.
yeah, I'm down to outreach to anyone, any way we can. I don't want to do it on any kind of social media platform is the only thing I'm reticent about, because then it's like not as inclusive. You have to have an account and then you can't get at it if you don't have the account. Like I can't see when something
Well, the
goes
library
on.
sent it out.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's just, like I said, that's just my only thing about
Library.
communication is like centrally around a single platform that
Not
could
single- yeah, not single, but
change.
But I think we should include it on Facebook, I mean,
I don't have a
that's
Facebook.
fine, but I think, but Facebook is a way a lot of people in
A
town.
billion other
communicate.
people do.
Yeah.
And even if people aren't the 4,000 people who live here, other people will see our information. They all know what's going on in Eastham.
Yeah, the only, I mean, like we don't have an official town one though, like for the swap shop on Facebook.
Town does. At least
There's
Eastham
an
does.
Eastham Recycling Committee page.
Joe Rossetti basically runs it.
What's that?
Joe Rossetti runs the Facebook page for the Eastham, for the
Swap shop?
Yes.
There's also a recycling committee.
The swap shop has their own Facebook page.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that there was that much on Facebook. And I'm not big on
There
Facebook.
is.
Not
There
in
is.
stuff.
That's-
I don't use
That's
Insta
why our
either.
business has grown.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just like it's a source of so much drama that it's like almost. I would try to make a place that's like central that doesn't require it, just because also there's generational demographic differences between platforms. If you pick one, you're basically saying I only want to talk to these people. That's just why I don't want to pick any. Yeah. I know, but then it's like one of those, like, once you go to one, what are we including? Are we gonna do a Nextdoor? Are we gonna do a Facebook? Are we gonna do an Instagram? Are we gonna do a, a Snapchat? Because then we're gonna reach younger people. Are we gonna go, I don't know, how deep do we go? Where's the line? Versus if we do something that's just come here for the information, sign up here for the information, and that's the official communications, then there's less potential for other things. I mean, I'm open to changing that stance, but that's kind of how I feel about it at the moment, just because I do see the drama that flows in from just the Facebook. And it's like, again, if we're targeting Facebook, why are we not targeting the others? Who are we not targeting by doing that? I want to see if we can get it to be more people by other means, but if we have to do it social media, I'm fine with engaging on it. It's just, it's not inclusive is what I'm saying, because you have to have an account to have it. And then by there, you're giving up certain aspects of whatever you may deem to be your rights to then again access what should be publicly available information. So we find a central place that's not a social media to work first. I would love that as a solution. Again, I'm not opposed to it entirely, but it's
Town
just
hall
again,
website.
what's that?
The town hall website.
Yeah, the town hall
Never
website.
go to the town, so
Perfect.
town hall website.
I think that's the best option, and we'll try to use. I mean, again, if we have to use some Facebook or some this or some that, it's fine. But then we got to make sure we're even-handed about who we're reaching out to. Is all I want to make sure we're considering. Because currently, it's all centered around a small group of people, and the little bit I did get to see of it when I tried to view certain things, it's definitely a specific group of people, and that's not really, to me, that's just like an echo chamber of not really outreach. So that's why it's like, maybe if we make it something more neutral, it'll be easier to get it approached by. I want to try to start to get younger people to come to the swap shop. We do get some young people, but they tend to be like tag-alongs, and I want to see like young people bringing in produce and plants, and they don't have tchotchkes to bring, so that's why they don't really
You
engage.
also don't have that.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the group of people of the 30s and 40s of Cape Cod, and it is not a big group, and
No.
they are dispersed. But it does give me a little bit of like, what are they up to on Cape Cod? Because they don't have Facebook, they don't have Instagram, they aren't using these platforms because they find them off-putting for reasons. And this is on Discord, so it's like an entirely different platform. Again, it's like, do we do a Discord? Do we do, I don't want to go and doing 7 accounts like it was back when we in the
We're
day.
not that big a town that we need to agonize over.
Yeah, we're like 6,000 people, right?
5
I think we're.
or yeah.
4.
Yeah, we go 4 to 25, 30,000. That's what happens in the summer conversion.
Yeah. How do we reach the other people though? The
Visitors,
yes.
that's how we reach
We
visitors.
talked about creating a piece of paper with info about recycling and about how. we-
Yeah, and about vouchers for homeowners to.
Yeah, the vouchers, I think, will
Sort of
be
a
a great way to
value added
put that.
thing for when you rent a house and all that kind of
Yeah, I
stuff.
think the vouchers will be a good one.
Because that's really the only centralized place for that information,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And we don't have, I'm assuming we don't have Twitter anymore since that's no longer a thing.
No, I don't think the town ever did it.
Okay.
We had to pay for it, so I'm sure that wasn't gonna be a thing.
Yeah. Do we I assume they don't do Instagram or Snapchat.
I don't think so.
Okay. Any other talent social medias I should be aware of that I should look at just to understand what's going on?
Demographically, it would be Facebook. Instagram is your generation. Your generation
But there's no,
after you.
yeah. Well, Snapchat's not even really good for I mean, it works to like announce things, but like it's not good for any other type of engagement.
It goes away.
Yeah, I mean, you can have like the thing is you can do like stories, and that's what I was thinking, like if there was some kind of engagement, that would be a great way like in the future to have like good items be advertised to bring people in as a way of doing it, and that would require social media engagement. But again,
If we had a voucher program.
yeah.
I think it would get a lot of traction on the town website because that's where everybody goes when they go to get their stuff or find out when the stickers are due and when the beach stuff's coming out. And if they have to rent, they have to get online.
And if they're new and they
sign
need the
up.
water test kit and all that centralized
That's where they
information.
pay their bills, like I pay my
Yeah.
bill online, so.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the hub, is just accessing that and stuff.
Okay. So we have a swap shop Facebook. We have a recycling committee Facebook.
I'm not on Facebook, so I don't.
Yeah, I'm not on
I
Facebook.
know of Joe's, because.
To be honest, I searched for these things and I couldn't find them. That just shows you how I did find swap shop people who run their own pages, which is
Right.
how I thought that was the swap shop page.
Right.
But now that I know more, it's like that's where it's like Facebook's so hard to use if you don't have an account. They don't
Yeah.
want you using it. I don't want to make a Facebook. So could somebody?
You should talk to Jackie Beebe and find out what they're putting out and how we can piggyback on that. We don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm not sure there's that much in the way of conversation about the swap shop at the transfer station. I think this is it, and anything else you need to show up and participate.
No, I think it's more about like, I try to get what's going. I try to, see what people want. People are looking for it. And, people come for like certain things, but that's a certain group of people. And I'm trying to find other groups of people. And I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking
Other
anymore.
groups of people that come to the swap shop.
Yeah.
I
That aren't
I
just
don't think
looking
we need
for-
any- I don't think we need any more business until we settle our other issues.
True.
So I would not worry about that. And since.
Well, yeah, this isn't something that's going to be
The advent of Joe Rossetti's Facebook page, it is literally like doubled our business. So I don't think we need any more help,
Okay.
quite honestly. I think that no news is good news at the
Well,
moment.
again, it wasn't something we were going to enact on immediately. It was like more.
No,
like,
but
what can
I
we
think we
figure out?
can update that when it becomes an issue. I think right
Okay.
now we have way more.
It's fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, that's all I really
see your
got.
point.
Besides, you brought up sorry, you just brought it up yesterday. Go ahead. The other thing you brought up,
Oh, that summit.
the summit, right? I'm blanking now. My mind's racing. Sorry.
I'm gonna see if I can go.
This, what's it called?
I take care of Cape Cod.
Oh, right. Is that Adam Gracia? Do you know Adam Gracia?
No.
He's involved. I think that might be his thing. He came to a couple of our events. That's why I asked if you knew him. He's been to a bunch of the recycling committee events.
No.
It might be his. He might be involved with that. Karen Cape and Islands. Is that who's doing it? I looked it up when he sent me the link. Now it's just I'm blanking on it. But yeah, I think somebody should go and see if anyone wants to go and report back.
No, I'll try to put myself on that.
Yeah, it's in a strange place in November. I don't know if I'll be able to attend. I might be able to. 21st. It's on 21st of November. You said?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
It's to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's why I was worried. I have to go home for Thanksgiving and cross the bridge. Not that I like to cross the bridge often, but I do have to cross it.
Okay.
So I don't think I can go. But if anyone, if you could go and just report back, it would be great.
Absolutely.
So that's all I have, unless anyone else has any new business they want to contribute.
I looked up grants.
Yes.
I don't know if the current this station manager person.
Oh, John.
John. So I don't know if.
John Ruffey.
John
Yeah.
has talked to you about what they.
He hasn't
applied
talked to
for
me
and not
at
applied
all.
for, Because we did, our town did get money, at two different points.
Mhm.
One, the last time I got money was for 2023. We got $9,000 for Sustainable Materials Recovery Program.
Oh.
Through Mass. So I found 5 grants, that we potentially could look into in the future because they're not running right now.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I think I wrote 622, meaning in 2022, our community got, the Green Communities Division gave us 139,000.
Whoa.
So,
Wow.
so Mass Development, Brownfield Redevelopment Funds, Green Communities Division, Sustainable Materials Recovery Program, grassrootfunds.org. They also give small grants. That would be probably more for us. And Mass Department, Reproduce, Reuse, Repair, micro grants are available.
Okay.
One of those grants specifically was for money towards a swap shop building.
Ah. Oh, how very useful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
You want to take a picture?
You know,
Any of them?
of your page?
Yeah, or I printed. what they
Oh,
were
okay,
called.
cool. Yeah. Definitely.
I can't do that.
I didn't want to make a
Oh,
whole bunch of
God, sorry.
copies.
Yeah.
I lost my phone. Oh, yes.
Yes.
I keep calling it. I've been checking everywhere. So.
All right.
So I know we've talked in the past about money.
Yeah.
Money, people, where there's money, well, I just looked up the money, so. Found the money.
Awesome. That's great.
That's fabulous. Thank you. Have we run out of business?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think I got everything that we were trying to talk about, at least at the, yeah, it's gonna get, we're entering the slow season, so it's gonna be hard to get a lot done. So I'm starting to learn the cadence of how to get things done around here by not rushing, moving slowly. I like to plan a lot though, so I sure it seems like I'm probably trying to move fast. So just keep in mind, I'm still, you can poke holes in the ideas so we can strengthen them and figure out what the best things are. Like I said, they want a bathroom. I know that's not a realistic ask, I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna keep it on the list because maybe money will fall out of the sky one day and I'll be able to do it. But in the meantime, I'll probably negotiate it down to a porta potty for just a few select people to use, because that way the volunteers have a place to use the restroom when they're there all day. I'd also like to,
They used to be there
longer.
9 to 2.
Yeah, I heard that somebody said that the hours used to be much longer.
Yeah, we had 2 shifts.
Yeah, I would like to change. I may bring the idea back, but I want to make one of the shifts just dropping off and one of them just shopping. I think that would help the flow of traffic as well in the future. But you never know.
We still have to pick the location.
Yeah, we still have to pick a
Before we make any
location.
of
And
those
again,
decisions.
having hours for people to drop off would allow time to have things be sorted and organized, so that way when people come, it's not just like a mad rush of items. So.
If I'm gonna go to the swap shop, I'll bring whatever from my house, and then I wanna browse.
Yeah, people,
That's why I do it.
and people that are emptying houses and that kind of thing don't work on a very look forward schedule. It's triage.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's not this isn't eliminating people dropping off in the same time that they're dropping off. This is just adding hours to add
Just for
volunteer
drop-off.
opportunities,
Yep.
drop-off opportunities. Again, it's
Okay.
the larger the funnel is, the more we can catch for various reasons.
Right.
And I know that people come a lot at the end and are sort of rushed to drop off items at the very, very end. So if we had
But those people have had the schedule the entire time and they show up at 5 to 1.
I know.
Giving them additional windows for things when they cannot read the original schedule seems pointless.
Well, if we have volunteers that we wanted to field though, that would be.
But I'm saying, you give them a time and
You stick
they're
to it.
still not going to read it.
Yeah, I mean, well, then we can be harsher though too about, hey, you're at we've gave you more windows. There's not like, oh, well, we're only open 3 days a week, these times to drop stuff off. It's like, hey, we have these times to drop stuff off. And again, it's not like we're going to be adding a ton of them. It's just like, maybe we'll try testing them out. And if no one comes, we just close it. We have a set of volunteers that I think is a strong core set. And what I'd like to do is put them in, hopefully in a future swap shop, leadership roles, running the inside versus running. Some of those ladies know what goes, so let them pick what goes outside. Let one of them run the inside sorting. Let one of them run hey, this is going out to this charity, and just make calls all day to get stuff out if that's what they want to do. Then we can get in newer volunteers and then have them train under those people just by helping out and having a couple hours for them to come in and do stuff maybe as a little easier.
We can also streamline, so unofficially now, people come up and say, I need a heater, I need this, I need a hot pot.
Yes.
If we more formalize the list.
Correct.
And somebody can work the listers.
Yeah, that's exactly why I want to formalize some of this stuff,
Which
because
also goes to expand the stuff for NGOs and all the other stuff.
and if we have a list of NGOs and a list of stuff, all it comes down is, hey, I need this for these people, and then hey, I have these excesses of glass.
I'll throw them here and call them up and they can go.
Yeah, one can be input, one can be output, and it's just calling people or making the connections. Like that's what they seem to be good at. Let's let them do that for the community rather than focus their efforts on sorting items. Like, I mean, anyone can sort items and unload trucks.
Right.
Let them focus on the strong parts that they're strong at. And I think that that's the leadership aspects of the swap shop.
Once we have space.
Exactly. Once we have space, well, I want space. I want to get them help because no one's getting younger. I mean, I'm working a whole day. I got to go home and take a nap afterwards. I know that I'm not alone.
The
in
youngest
that.
person there by a lot.
I know exactly. So I know if I'm going home to take a nap, I know that Richard's going home to take a nap. I know those other guys. So I want to work them a little less hard, and I want to make their lives a little bit easier. Is all I really want to do. And if I have to give a bigger window to get a couple more people to drop stuff off, even though it's annoying, I think that having the extra volunteers would be awesome, or giving the kids a chance to come in and volunteer. If we have a window that works where they can come in and sort, because like, who cares what they're going to take? They're not going to take the same stuff that the other volunteers are going to take. Let them get first pass at some of the stuff. And then they'll also tell their friends that maybe we'll bring stuff that'll trade stuff.
Right.
You know, again, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to think about how to get these younger people engaged. Because
Right,
like
right.
I see the young people come in, but they only go to 2 spaces. There's like, they go to where the toys kind of, that like, you know, unofficial toy table, and they walk the outer tables, and then they're done if there's nothing there. So,
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, motion
Thoughts?
to adjourn.
Yeah, I think we can adjourn if
Jane,
anyone's
did you miss
got.
anything?
Jim,
Yes,
you still with us?
I'm,
Thoughts?
I'm good for the moment.
Okay.
All right. Did we miss anything you had in mind?
No, I'm wondering, now that I think about it, what if we could get our hands on a composting toilet for the bathroom?
Oh, actually, that's a really, really, really excellent thought. I actually have some experience in composting toilets, so I have to check to see.
And it plays to our lead, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I have to check to some things, but I think that actually would be much more doable than
Then a porta
again, it would be limited use. This is not an open to the public toilet. I don't
Right,
think we
right,
can
right.
handle that. Even with a composting toilet, we need like 20 of them.
Right, right.
But that's actually a really awesome idea. Thank you very much. I'm super stoked.
Something like they have at the Audubon Society.
What was that?
Something like they have at the Audubon Society, the toilets they have in the bathrooms there.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm really mad that I didn't think of that. I'm really mad that I didn't think of that. I'm also stoked that you thought of it. So welcome to your first meeting.
Yes, thank you.
Pleasure to
Okay,
take.
that could be a
I understand
solution.
I'm gonna be sworn in or something, or I'm gonna be made official next week, I believe. So, you know, I'm still I'll be an alternate, but I'll be an official alternate.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you. I think we can motion to adjourn on that high note.
All right, yes, thank you.
I'll motion to adjourn.
You're welcome.
All right.
Second,
Third.
all right.
So I think we're adjourned.